Inflation is critically important to our conversation. Why? Remember, what do? We help people either, A, find the money that they're losing unknowingly and unnecessarily. Great. How do we do that? Well, we start by answering the four most critical financial questions. And what do those questions answer? Obviously, are like, again, rate of return, how much you need to save, when can you retire, would you have to reduce your lifestyle? But the key is you want to have a lifestyle in the future that is the same as today, adjusted for inflation, and make sure they don't run out of money. So, what are we using for inflation? Okay. This is a great teaching moment. I'm not selling anything here. I'm getting people up to speed. And so I always ask let me go back to that. I always default it to 3. And then I say, are you okay with 3? And regardless of they say yes or no, I say, let me just show you very quickly where I came up with that number. Now, recently, a lot of people have been like, no way. That's way too low. Well, let's take a look. Okay. And we've all had a recency bias. If I go right here, so yeah, 2021, 4.7%. Yeah, okay. Is that higher than 3? It sure is. 2022, 8%. 2023, 4.1. Well, hold on. This didn't exactly get like headline news. We're back down to 2.9. Okay. That doesn't sell newspapers or get clicks, does it? 8% inflation, 4.7, 4.1. That gets clicks, gets people's attention. Oh, people want something to complain about. Inflation, it's running rampant. Well, let's just take a look here. So if I look at the last 10 years, okay, so 2015 through 2024, inflation was only 2.86%. Now, some people are going to say, yeah, well, inflation was also like incredibly low. Okay. Well, how big a window of time do you want to look at? Do you want to go back 20 years? 2005 through, here you go, 2.57. How about, want to go back even further? Let's go back to 1995. So 30 years, 2.54. Do you want to go back 40 years? How about that? Let's go back to 1985. 2.81. Let's go back 50 years. Okay, 3.8. I don't know what inflation is going to do moving forward. I really don't. But I like to look at history as a harbinger of things to come. And if we go further back, we also have to look at the world is a very, very different place than it was when these high inflation period of years were occurring. Why do you think some of this, again, this is not meant to be a history lesson. You don't have to take it all the way back here. You don't have to know all these details, but you're having a conversation. Well, what's going on here? Like the U.S. just came off, the gold standard. The dollar became the measure of everything. That's a lot of pressure. Hate to say it. It takes a little while for an economy to get used to that kind of pressure. There was really the global supply chain, which is what they say is responsible for like this recent spike in inflation. Well, yeah, that really didn't exist to the extent that it does today. Okay, and so all of that is settled in. So with all that in mind, let's just go back and go to, again, if we're going to go back 50 years, why don't we go back 60? Okay, 3.96. Okay. So I typically land on 3%. But you now have to be able to ask your prospect or client, do you want to use that number or would you like to use something else? What I'm trying to do is we don't want to have a recency bias. Okay. A recency bias is a great conversation that you can point out to people. We all only remember like pain. And what's real painful for people recently was inflation. But they don't remember the fact that their cost of groceries didn't go up very much over the course of the prior decade. Okay.